The Golden State on fire. Wind-driven wildfires explode. Firefighters working around the clock to get the flames under control.
The visibility is far too low, and it's too hazardous to fly aircraft.
Countless homes destroyed, neighborhoods ravaged by flames, one Butte County community virtually wiped off the map.
So please pray for us that we get out of here, okay? Oh my God. Oh my God.
Thousands of families forced from their homes, grabbing what they can and getting out as flames race closer with no relief in sight.
A devastation across California tonight. 3 wildfires are burning more than 200 square miles, forcing tens of thousands of families to pack up and go.
The largest fire is also the one that's closest to us. The Camp Fire has wreaked havoc on communities in Butte County. Flames racing through neighborhoods, destroying everything in its path. And tonight we're learning the Camp Fire has claimed even more lives. Thanks for joining us tonight at 10 o'clock. I'm Nikki Lorenzo.
And I'm Eric Harriman. Fire officials are confirming 9 people have died since that fire started early yesterday morning. Some have been found dead in their cars as they were trying to escape those flames. The flames just engulfed that vehicle altogether. Others were found just outside their homes.
And those that were able to escape will eventually be coming back to this. Abandoned cars line the sides of the roads. Ash and rubble surround shells of what used to be family homes and businesses in the town of Paradise. The majority of that town is completely gone. Many people are now left wondering what, if anything, was spared by the flames.
We're hopeful, even if it is there. I cannot imagine living in the devastation that's there.
My whole family, all of our houses are gone. All my sisters have no insurance. It's gonna be a hard time. And I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm scared.
Your heart just breaks for those families affected by this fire. For one family, the devastation goes beyond 4 walls and a roof.
It sure does. No matter what, you want to protect your kids at all costs. And while escaping the campfire, they got separated from their 12-year-old daughter, and they still have no idea where she is. Fox 40 Charmaine Nero is live in Butte County with more on that. Charmaine.
Nikki, Eric, she tells me it was a race against time trying to get a hold of her 2 daughters while flames surrounded their car. But unfortunately, tonight, one of those daughters is still missing.
I love you, Crystal. Please try and get a hold of us somehow.
A heartfelt plea.
We've been searching for her all night. We checked all the Chico shelters. We checked here. We haven't heard. There's nobody.
Alicia Harmon's 12-year-old daughter, Crystal, went missing during the chaos of Thursday's evacuations. The family went to pick up their youngest from school while a family friend was picking up Crystal. All of this happening while flames surrounded their car.
Her friend's mom had her, and we were in a different car, and we're headed up, and we got separated.
And by the time we picked up her and headed out of Magalia, it was jam-packed.
Steve Walsh with the American Red Cross says he's been getting calls from families searching for loved ones for most of the day.
We're giving them, general advice like call the sheriff's office if you can, put messages on social media, call their friends, their job.
Everything the Harmon family says they've done, but still no answers, while they say their home is destroyed.
From what we've heard, it's gone.
Yeah.
We lost everything.
They won't stop looking until they find Crystal.
Really wish you went home, but we're really worried about you, so please come back soon.
The family says they're staying in this area until they find their daughter. If you want to know how to locate a loved one, we'd include that information on our website at fox40.com. But for now, live in Butte County, Charmaine Nero, Fox 40 News.
Charmaine, thank you. So while the search continues for that little 12-year-old girl, several other people are also missing in the middle of all of this. So these are the faces of the dozens of people who are unaccounted for, considered missing at this point, and there could be more out there than pictured here. So that being the case, the Red Cross has launched something called their Safe and Well list. That's basically a message board where those affected by this wildfire can see if their loved ones are safe and exactly where they're staying right now. And we have put a link to that on our website, fox40.com.
A big question tonight. How did this fire start? This is not confirmed, but according to the Mercury News, the fire may have started by down PG&E lines. Again, the Mercury News reporting that the down power lines coupled with the high winds started the deadly fire. The paper says that information came from radio conversations they obtained from a source. Now, according to the Associated Press, PG&E says it experienced a problem on an electrical transmission line near the site of the campfire. The AP reports the company said in a paragraph sent to state utility regulators that it had experienced the outage about 15 minutes before the fire started. And tonight we're getting a look at a new video of families escaping the flames.
Yeah, it gives you a really good idea of the frantic nature of what's been going on in the last 24 hours. So you can hear this dad calming his young daughter as they were trying to get out of paradise. Listen to this.
I'm gonna stay away from it, okay? Yeah. Yep.
Imagine trying to stay together with a little one in the car driving through that. Another woman recorded video of her family as they made that very dangerous journey trying to get out of town.
We are evacuating Paradise, California. We can't even see. We don't know where the fire is. So please, 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 please pray for us that we get out of here, okay? Oh my God. Oh my God.
And we did get an update here. The family that you're listening to there navigated through that smoke, through that fire, and finally escaped.
This is unreal. Yeah. Never seen anything like it, but God, no, we passed it. What are we gonna do? Okay.
Lost their home and two of their cats. Again, sorry, that family lost their home and two of their cats. They say that they were very grateful that they were able to make it out alive, though.
And right there, those are just some of the stories of people trying to get out before it's too late. And those who were able to leave in time are now desperately waiting to get back home. Fox 40's Jessica Mensch has that story.
The smoky haze over Paradise can't cover the destruction left from the campfire.
Like I lost my business, my home. I'm pretty sure everything's gone.
Justin Cahoy is one of thousands who evacuated Thursday morning as the campfire raged through his town, now holding on to his family and hope as he waits to see what's left.
And I had a toy hauler. I could have mounted up and had everything I needed, but I didn't have time. This is hard stuff.
Neighbors like Stephen Fiorenza trying to get through roadblocks to get to family.
So I thought I'd just come to Chico, get gas, and go back up and get my mom, and they won't let me back up the hill.
He drove out of town to get gas in his car, planning to come back for his disabled mother, whose home was not destroyed in the fire.
If you can pass this on to the policemen, firemen, go get my mom and get her the hell out of there. I thought the fire danger was not in her area, but evidently I'm finding out it is.
He's reached out to officials in hopes of getting her help, while Cahoy prays his little town will be able to recover.
There's one thing I know for sure, God's good, and then I know it'll be okay.
Jessica Mensch, Fox 40 News.
And take a look at this. The fire's so big you can actually see it from space. This picture is from the NASA Earth Observatory. You can see the smoke billowing into the air, really the scope of how big this fire is. And Christina, we're dealing with the smoking conditions here in Sacramento as well from this fire.
Yeah, absolutely. And from that, you can see just how big and massive this fire is. This piece of video will show you just how strong, really, the conditions were. This is a fire tornado that did actually take place at this fire. It just kind of gives you an idea of the type of winds they were dealing with. Just think of the type of wind you would need to create something like this. So just an amazing sight, and you can see everything around this completely in flames. Let's go ahead now and take a look at the conditions. The only good news right now is that winds have been fairly calm really all day, not really more than 5 miles an hour, gusting only to 5 miles an hour. They've been pretty sporadic though, pushing off to the north and south, not actually pushing off back towards Chico. Most of that happened last night. In fact, you can see all the areas here in yellow is what was happening yesterday and last night, including burning right up to the edge of, you can see the Chico city line. We're also seeing some of that yellow burning a little bit farther south. All the growth today, the areas of red. So you can see well to the south and to the north of this fire, a little less populated areas, but still, obviously, it's so big now. It's going to take crews some time to get a handle on this. The bad news is the north winds are coming back. Not necessarily tonight or tomorrow. Most of the day looks fine, but tomorrow night, we're going to start to see those winds pick up again. It will be a north wind event, and it will lower humidities one more time. I don't think winds are going to be quite as strong as they were with this last round, and it's likely going to be during the day on Sunday that we'll see the strongest winds, but we're not going to take any chances. National Weather Service has already put out a red flag warning for this area. It will last all the way until Monday morning. It goes into effect tomorrow night at 10. Again, the worst of it could be winds to 30 miles an hour, gusts to 50. Right now, it's not looking like they'll be quite that strong. But again, any wind in this situation is not something we need to see. And humidities, of course, will be very, very dry.
Christina, thanks. Let's talk about those evacuations here. Some of the evacuation orders have been lifted. So those living west on Oro Chico Highway from Estates Drive to Durham-Dayton Highway, you are no longer under an evacuation order. An evacuation warning has also been lifted for those west of Highway 99 from Highway 149 north to Chico city limits.
And the destruction in Butte County, just from seeing all the video and the pictures coming out of there, you can tell it is immense. One of our veteran photographers who was out there today says it is the worst aftermath he's ever witnessed in his 30 years working in TV news. There are thousands of homes and businesses absolutely gone, and the people of Paradise will need a lot of help to rebuild their lives there. So Fox 40 has teamed up with the Salvation Army to help those who have lost everything. You can go to our website right now, fox40.com, to donate. Every little bit helps. There's a banner at the top of the homepage right now. And for the latest details on this wildfire, including evacuation orders and road closures, be sure to download our free Fox 40 app. Once you're there, all you have to do is search Campfire.
And another big story that we are following for you on this Friday night. Don't forget these faces that we're rolling through here. The Thousand Oaks community continues to mourn tonight after 12 people were shot and killed inside a country music dance hall earlier this week. And detectives are now trying to figure out exactly what caused this former Marine to go on that deadly rampage that night. This evening, we are hearing from some of the survivors of that shooting.
Fox 40's Sinceri Tunsil has more tonight from Thousand Oaks.
This is the gas station that Ben Campbell ran to when he was first able to escape the shooting inside the Borderline Bar and Grill. He got here and then he ran back into the area to try and help. Running away from his favorite bar, trying to get a gunshot victim to safety, Ben Campbell hadn't begun trying to make sense of what had happened inside Borderline Bar and Grill.
I couldn't believe it. It was so surreal. I almost almost wanted to see him to kind of like wrap my brain around it because I couldn't believe it. I was like, this isn't happening. There's no way. And I kind of stood there and looked in the bar and it was just empty. Smoke grenades were going off.
Today, in our closest look yet at investigators working the fatal shooting scene in Thousand Oaks, FBI agents and other officers are 2 days into their own quest for answers. Campbell says he'll never understand.
I'm just doing what I can, staying positive.
I haven't seen anything close to this.
To unravel the unthinkable, a massacre inside a crowded bar, investigators are looking to the reliable.
We're going through methodically and making sure that we capture every bit of evidence, every piece of information that'll help us fill in the blanks.
Ventura County Sheriff's Captain Garo Karagian, just one member of a whole department missing Sergeant Ron Hellis, killed by a combat Marine veteran, now identified as the borderline gunman, Ian David Long.
And he'd be the first to rush in to try to solve the problem, to try to neutralize that threat. So I know he didn't have a moment's hesitation when he heard those shots.
It was a place everyone says they love to come because of how it welcomed you, made you feel like family, even if it was your first time through the doors. Now Borderline will rely on that family to heal.
Being together as a family, that's all we can do to cope with what has happened.
Just this evening, survivors of the Borderline Bar shooting have been able to show up at this roadblock to try to get back their cars that have been locked into this scene for 2 days. It'll be a much longer time before they're able to regain their sense of security. Reporting in Thousand Oaks, Sinceri Tunsil, Fox 40 News.
Still ahead for you tonight, the campfire, not the only wildfire raging in California. 2 major wildfires are destroying land and homes down south as neighbors in several cities are forced to leave. We'll take you there coming up next.
This portion of Fox 40 News brought to you by the Folsom Auto Mall.
A new FBI report says that the airline worker who stole that plane at the Seattle-Tacoma International Airport back in August did it alone. 28-year-old Richard Russell is his name. Eventually, he did fly that passenger plane into the ground and he died. A new report released this afternoon says that Russell crashed that plane intentionally. Russell worked as a baggage handler for Horizon Air at that airport. He told air traffic control that day while he was flying in that stolen plane that he was, quote, just a broken guy. The FBI says that they will not be pursuing any charges against anybody. Turning to the wildfire watch again, this time in Southern California. A state of emergency in that area tonight as tens of thousands of acres are burning. The Hill Fire and the Woolsey fires have forced more than 150,000 people from their homes. That's in Ventura County and in Los Angeles County. The more destructive of the two is the Woolsey fire. 2 people have been killed in that, and some others left absolutely speechless as they can do nothing more than watch their neighborhoods burn.
It is absolutely heart-wrenching watching your neighbors' homes across the street from you all burn while you're fighting for your own home. And I'm a bit speechless.
Just in the last 24 hours, officials in Southern California have issued evacuation orders for more than 95,000 people.
And the flames are showing no signs of slowing down. Rick Chambers has more from the front lines.
Gusting winds returned to Bell Canyon today, victimizing homeowners for a second time and charring at least 14 homes along Hitching Post and Flintlock Road.
We had strong winds. We got heavy brush on all sides of these homes and erratic winds as well.
LA City fire crews did what they could on structure protection, removing household items so that something at least would be saved, but a half dozen homes were burning simultaneously, and manpower was just too thin.
Yeah, it's frustrating for everybody. They want nothing more than to be able to save property for folks and protect what they work so hard for, but sometimes the fire and Mother Nature just are not on our side.
Hey guys, this is Chambers. We're going to change positions. Ooh. That just came down. Collapsing walls and roofs made the fight even more dangerous, but only one minor injury is being reported here.
Everybody tries to back up a little bit more in this type of environment and give a little more space for safety, and so we've avoided other injuries on a number of occasions because of that.
Trying to keep the embers from spreading to even more homes is going to be a tough job throughout the night. Potent winds are still moving across the hillsides.
Rick Chambers reporting tonight. And the Hill Fire is also burning in Ventura County near the site of this week's mass shooting in Thousand Oaks. Flames sparked yesterday afternoon and quickly spread to more than 4,500 acres. This number has actually gone down today as officials were able to get a more accurate map of the burnt area. The fire is about 15% contained. While no homes or businesses have been lost, a number of RVs and outbuildings have burned.
All right, so we've been talking about a lot of heavy stuff here on this Friday night, but this will lighten things up a little bit for you. Fox 40 and 106.5 The End teamed up one last time for tonight's final quarter fan favorite game. So tonight, the Turlock High School Bulldogs are taking on the Oak Ridge Trojans. Fox 40's Martina Del Bonte is there.
Martina.
And Chris K.
We're here at the Turlock at Oak Ridge final quarter fan favorite game of the week.
Playoffs. This is very exciting.
And guess what? We have the section champs right here already.
Volleyball section champs right here. All right, here we go. Ready? Oh. Who's spiking?
Wait, where'd he go?
I think they spiked a little harder than that in the game, but congratulations to the Lady Trojans. Volleyball winning it all.
And final quarter tonight at 11 o'clock. We'll see you there.
All right, if you're heading out to football games tonight, Christina, you needed to bundle up.
Yes, it is so chilly out there. We're already seeing temperatures in the 30s in some spots. So let's go ahead and take a look at some video, because this is the other thing a lot of people probably contending with. Smoke and haze. That is not foggy skies. That is not cloud cover. Instead, it was just smoke. This was taken from earlier this afternoon, and this is what we're probably going to see tomorrow as well. All of the smoke from the north from the campfire is making its way into our area. In fact, here's a look. You can see exactly what we're dealing with. But all of that smoke and haze due to north winds has pushed down into the valley, and it just continues to settle because winds right now are very, very calm. Really, we're not seeing much wind at all, and that's sort of the story for tomorrow as well. So another smoky day tomorrow. Then things will start to clear out a little bit on Sunday, but but that's when the north winds are going to kick in, and that's not necessarily good news. So because of that smoke and haze, still at this hour, we are seeing pockets of unhealthy air. The areas of red, Yuba City, just into East Sacramento as you make your way into Roseville, Rockland, also up towards Folsom, Granite Bay. We are seeing areas of red, so that is unhealthy air from Stockton into Modesto, stretching off towards the coast. Also unhealthy air. So this is not necessarily a good situation if you do have breathing issues or if your kids are going to be out and about tomorrow, if you've got games, things like that. This is not going to be a good situation. Again, if you do have any type of asthma, tomorrow, forecasted air quality in Sacramento County. This is not the time of year we really worry about this, but because of the smoke, it will be unhealthy tomorrow at times. So you have to keep that in mind. If you do have problems, again, respiratory issues, it could be a problem. As far as temperatures, look at Vacaville. What? It's almost freezing. It is going to be very chilly tonight. So we will talk about that, what to expect for your weekend, and have a complete look at your fire forecast just ahead.
All right, Christina, thank you. A marketing stunt is causing controversy. Coming up, the message Burger King is sending with a series of pictures showing head-on collisions with their restaurants.
Plus, dramatic rescue troopers rushing in to save a man from that burning car right there. We'll show you what led to that fiery scene.
It's the second big Friday night of the high school football playoffs, and we have a big final quarter show planned. Highlights all the scores, the brackets, the matchups, right after our late news.
Dash cam video caught two troopers rescuing a New Jersey man from that burning car. Take a look there. As you can see, the flames were starting to quickly spread into that vehicle. They tried for quite some time to free the driver before that fire spread to the passenger side as well. So they were finally able to drag that man out to safety, and police ended up finding him unconscious with his foot all the way down on the accelerator. And that man managed to get out, believe it or not, without any injuries. Drivers in Elk Grove will see some temporary closures on Bradshaw and Sheldon roads, and that is going to start next week. So be aware if you're going to go into that area. They say that the intersection there will be closed November the 12th and the 13th between the hours of 9 in the morning and 3 in the afternoon. They say that drivers should take an alternate route during those hours because there's going to be a backup. Officials say that the roundabout is going to have some work done to improve flow of traffic and for safety. And they say that detour signs will be in place, alerting everybody, pedestrians and drivers, as to what's happening.
Well, Disney is looking to pull down its films from Netflix after launching its new streaming service. Disney Plus is expected to reach viewers late next year. It will consist of Disney Studios content in addition to Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars, and National Geographic content. The service will also feature new original shows as well as movies. The company's revenue recently rose 12% to nearly $14 billion, and it's expected to see even more growth after purchasing 21st Century Fox. All right, Burger King's new ad campaign, it is turning heads because of this right here. The ads show real photos of cars crashing into the restaurant. The fast food chain is promoting its new delivery service, and their new motto is "Leave it to us." Their message in doing this is to not drive when hungry. You can be distracted by your cravings. So these pictures right there causing some controversy on social media. People not sure how this new ad campaign is going to play out, but I don't know, Burger King.
Yeah, I get where they're going, but that's weird.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
That's weird. That's weird. Just putting it out there. Just my personal opinion.
Weird.
Nobody asked.
Yeah.
Still ahead for you tonight, a community in ashes. We've been following this for 2 days. Families forced to start over as a wildfire rips through an entire town. We're talking about Paradise, just to our north. Our coverage of the devastating campfire continues.
And a home security camera captures a suspected burglar's every move, what police are saying about the crime trend, and what you can do to protect yourself.
Welcome back, everybody. An entire town in Butte County reduced to ashes and rubble. We've been watching this happen. Cars left abandoned on the side of the road as people tried to scramble to get out of there. And in the wake of all that destruction, we're talking about the campfire here, and those flames were fanned by strong winds. They tore through the town of Paradise, burning, for the most part, everything in their path. Tens of thousands of families have been forced to pack up everything they have and get out as fast as they could, and unfortunately, not everyone made it out alive.
Fire officials confirm at least 9 people have died. Investigators say some of the victims' bodies were found inside their cars, others outside their homes. Right now, we know 90,000 acres have burned. It is only 5% contained tonight. 15,000 buildings are in the fire's path, and more than 67,000 buildings have been destroyed.
Fox 40's Carmen Dickerson walked through some of that destruction for us this morning.
The Camp Fire ripped through the Northern California community of Paradise, leaving behind dark, smoky skies and devastation as far as the eye can see. Take a look. We're on the main thoroughfare. This is Skyway, and we can see gutted businesses on both sides of the road. And this is pretty much the scene we're seeing no matter where we look. So we can walk along the side here. We're told that this used to be a restaurant and next to it a home furnishings business, but it's really hard to tell. You can see some mangled remnants of tables and chairs, but that's about it. There are also some hot spots of fires, a little smoldering, as you can see some smoke there in the distance. Other than that, the fire made quick work of the community of Paradise. We do want to, though, point out that not every place looks exactly like this. Across the street, we can see an antique mall that did survive. So really, it's hit and miss as you walk up and down the street, which businesses survived, which didn't, which homes survived, which didn't. But essentially, there is not one stretch that we've seen so far that didn't have significant fire damage. Another thing we should point out, taking another look at those skies, we should be seeing broad daylight right now. This should be essentially clear skies. It should look like it's daytime, but it looks like the sun is almost going to set. It is eerie here. If you take into account that we're still under evacuation orders in Paradise, so there's almost no one on the roads, it feels very eerie on the streets here. The traffic that we're seeing back and forth is essentially emergency responders, because while the fire has moved out of Paradise, it is heading north. And so the communities north of Paradise still under active evacuation orders. Paradise is about 80 miles north of Sacramento and about 8 miles east of Chico, to give you an idea. And areas north of here are still threatened by the Camp Fire. Reporting in Paradise, Carmen Dickerson.
You can see all the devastation there. 6,700 buildings destroyed by this fire. Now, a report from the San Jose Mercury News suggests that the Butte County fire may have been started by downed PG&E lines and noted radio transmissions from early Thursday morning.
Possibly in the area of Camp Creek Road. RP was calling from the Poe Dam, looking across under the high tension power lines. There's a possible power line hazard.
Now, according to the Associated Press, PG&E says it experienced a problem on an electrical transmission line near the site of the campfire. The AP reports the company said in a paragraph sent to state utility regulators that it had experienced the outage about 15 minutes before that fire started.
And everybody doing what they can to try and help out here. Comcast has opened thousands of Wi-Fi hotspots throughout Butte County to help victims who have been impacted by the Camp Fire. The company says that these hotspots are available to everybody, regardless of whether or not you're a Comcast customer. In the meantime, though, a spokesperson for State Farm also urging homeowners to reach out to their insurance companies right now to start the recovery process ASAP. That spokesperson also says to hang on to all of your receipts from your temporary living expenses so that you can be reimbursed for all of it. And you can download the Fox 40 app as well. That's where you'll be able to get the most up-to-date information on the Camp Fire. Also, those 2 fires burning in Southern California. All you have to do is search Camp Fire.
A thief caught on camera rummaging through a Davis family's home as a security system rolls on his every move. The man can be seen grabbing a laptop off the coffee table before moving to the entertainment center to swipe other electronics. Davis police say the out-of-town homeowner called 911 as they watched it happen from their phone using their Nest app. Police responded quickly, but they were too late. Neighbors say this video is unsettling.
Be able to actually see somebody in your home going through your stuff just would be such a weird and, I don't know, a weird feeling, and I would feel unsafe.
Police say home burglars often go for electronics because they're small and worth a lot of money. Anyone who recognizes the suspect is asked to call the Davis Police Department. A 33-year-old Stockton man has been charged with sex trafficking a young woman from San Jose to Salt Lake City. The woman was rescued at a motel in Santa Clara after she was able to call police. Her alleged abuser, Anthony Thomas Jr., was arrested at the 49ers-Raiders game. The woman told police Thomas contacted her on Instagram. When they met, he forced her to prostitute in 5 states. He faces felony sex trafficking, pimping, and pandering charges.
A family fight turned deadly in the city of Denair. Deputies responded to a call on Marazan Street. This is yesterday. When they got there, they say that they arrested 36-year-old Jason Schaefer as he was coming out of that house. Authorities later found 56-year-old Gregory Schaefer dead from a stab wound. He was apparently the suspect's stepfather. Police say that while he was booked into jail, Schaefer also assaulted deputies, so additional charges were added for battery on a peace officer.
Hollywood actors joined together in Pittsburgh today to honor the 11 people killed in the Tree of Life synagogue shooting. Michael Keaton was one of the notables who addressed people gathering for the Rally for Peace. The event included other speakers, songs, as well as a moment of silence. Actor Tom Hanks spoke at the event about the strength of the community.
The people of Pittsburgh live in good neighborhoods that do not divide the city, but that define it. A visitor here will learn of the unbreakable bond shared by all who wear the black and the gold.